What's up, Red Devil Nation? Steve Leslie, YSNLive.com. Wednesday night at Tavern 26. Cannot thank Dan Dahl and Mike Sharp for all they do for Camel Athletics and all they do for all of us at YSN. Wednesday night, Camel night here at Tavern 26. Proud to be joined by the head football coach, Andrew King. Coach, thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
Week 3. And when I say week 3, I talked with Sean last night. I talked with Coach Pav the night before. I can't believe I'm saying week 3.
I know. It's so early.
I'll start with, is it fast for you or is it fast for like all of us?
It's fine for everybody. I mean, we just started school. You know what I mean?
I guess that's what's so hard for me to understand. You just start school and you're talking about a third game.
I know. Yeah, it's crazy.
And the state just, they push things up. They limit doubles. They do things. And here we are, week 3. 1-1, come off a tough game against Lowellville. When we talked, you knew it was going to be a good football game. That's a good football team that's not going to lose many games. We talked off air, just a couple little mistakes. Talk about that game a little bit. But Red Devil Nation, when you look at the score, we talked, you have 4 possessions inside the 30-yard line.
Oh, yeah.
In the first quarter, you only give up 14. That's pretty good defense. Let's start with that.
Yeah, we played great defense. It doesn't look like it because of the situation we put them in offensively, but defense, we played great. We battled back in the second half. We just didn't have enough with the little mistakes we made. So when you look back at the film, you're like, wow, we played really good football, but we just put ourselves in a bad situation early, and then we couldn't come back.
I love talking with you about this because I don't think most people or the average fan understand it. It's not in a football game, not big things. No. It's going the wrong way. It's a false step. It's a penalty. And then I think the other end off of that, coach, is you have to remember they're 15, 16, and 17, and 18-year-old kids. There's going to be mistakes in a football game. Nobody plays a perfect game.
Sure. Yeah, emotions play a big role with those kids because that's what it is. It's an emotional game.
Sure.
Collision sport kind of thing. So, and when you look at it from the sideline, when you look at it from the stands, you just see the linebacker coming in free. You don't see that, well, if this guy just stepped right, we had a great play.
Yeah.
So it's one little thing here and there, and it's not always the same thing, same person. It's just one of those things.
With Coach King, love being with them every Wednesday night here at Tavern 26. Cannot thank Dan and Mike Sharp and the whole staff here. Again, Coach, another great turnout. I love coming on Wednesdays. When you watch film, as a staff, it has to excite you to see the progress that these kids are making.
Yeah. I mean, with Huddle now, you could see everything back for years. So, I go back to my first year here.
We just talked about their first year is probably like,
it's crazy.
That was really us.
Yeah, that's what it looks like, too. It's funny because how you grow as a football team and how you see the young guys develop, your football team changes, but also how good you are in some things that you weren't year one being here. So it's awesome.
Well, they're going to play McDonald, another home game. That's nice. You picked up a home game with Lowellville, unfortunately for situations, but McDonald is a good football team, but I think McDonald is a team that you guys match up fairly well with. Talk about that a little bit.
Yeah, McDonald runs the same defense as Lowellville does, but I think Lowellville has some guys in there that make it a little bit more challenging, but McDonald, they're a great football team. Dan does a great job.
He's phenomenal.
He's been around
there forever.
Yeah, he's been around forever.
Yeah.
So, and I know a lot of guys on their staff. I had some family over in McDonald, so it's really cool to see that small town, how successful they are year in and year out. So it's never going to be easy, but I think we do match up with them pretty well, and I'm pretty excited to have a bounce back.
With Coach King, Coach's Corner every Wednesday night. I love this league because of the old-time rivalry. McDonald's, Camels, Lowellville's. This league is really good. You look at the standings in your league, there's a lot of good football teams in your tier.
Oh, yeah.
That I say if you don't come every week ready to play, you can get beat by anybody in that tier. Is that fair to say?
It is. You usually have that one guy on
that
top.
Stands out. Yeah, I don't see that. And
no.
Camel's in or Lowellville's in the tier, right? Or
no?
No?
We're actually in the upper tier right now, but next year we'll be in the lower one.
Tier.
So, but yeah, we have like Garfield, Crestview, LeBray, but Lowellville, you have Lowellville, Springfield, McDonald, Waterloo.
There's so many good teams in the whole entire league. That's what I love to cover because those are throwbacks. Those are teams that have been in our valley, in our area, that have had those years where they went on the run. We talk all the time. Camel, my goodness, the runs that they had in the heyday. But I see that with this group. I see. Here's what I tell you. What I see that I love what you do. I see the jerseys coming in and they're wearing.
Yeah.
I couldn't tell you if I didn't know the score or what happened. What I love about them is you wouldn't be able to tell if they won or lost.
Next play, coach. That next play.
I love that because you're a kid. Like
you're
a kid. There's a lot of things going on. We've talked about this that we didn't deal with at their age.
Yeah.
A cell phone, the distractions of their age. But to see them come in every week, to me, with the same look, is a credit to you and your staff because I see everybody wants to win. I get that, but you're not going to win all the time. You got to learn how to lose a little bit before you win, and I think I'm starting to see that with that group, if that's fair to say.
Yeah, it is. I mean, young kids now, like you said, they're pressured into everything. They have such high. Everybody has such high expectations for them. It's crazy.
Yeah, it's like, well, how's your football going to team? Are you going to be 10-0? Well, there's only so many teams that can go 10-0 in a football season.
Yeah.
But it's a credit to you and your staff. I wanted to ask off of that. Film has to be a good thing for them now to actually see it and visualize what they're doing.
Yeah,
more so than your first year.
Yeah, and it's hard. Sometimes getting into a new program, they're used to a certain way, and I don't think they watch film before me, to be honest with you.
Right.
So now that they're watching film every Saturday, and
what do they say? The eye in the sky does not lie.
No, that's it too. And and we film everything. It's so nice. The huddle focus we have, like we film.
Yeah,
practice,
they do an incredible job with that. So as a staff, does that help you? Being able to see, I've always wondered with the new technology, seeing stuff in practice is a big thing, isn't it?
It's a bonus, yeah. I mean, you back in the day, you had a cowboy.
The eyes can only see so many things in a practice.
That's it.
But when you go in and watch a practice,
you're like,
probably pick up a lot of things.
Sure. And it helps clean up practice a little bit the next day.
Well, that's awesome to hear. With Coach King, Campbell Memorial, they will host the McDonald Blue Devils Friday night. We'll have it for you on ysnlive.com, 7 o'clock. Proud to be the home of the Campbell Red Devils here at Tavern 26 every Wednesday night. Shout out to my boys, Dan Dahl, Mike Sharp, and all the ladies here at Tavern 26. It's one of my favorite food nights
around. Food, isn't it? It's good food.
No doubt. So what's the improvement you want to see? Now, we talk week 1 to week 2 is a big jump. Now you lose. Well, what's a jump you're looking for 2 to 3 here against McDonald?
You started to establish yourself now that you have 2 actual games that you're going against, and now you want to start cleaning up the little things.
Do you compare things off of those 2 things, like 1 game, 2 games? You could compare.
Yeah, you compare them, and you also see different kids in different spots too, because kids have to play in certain positions, especially at a small school.
Right.
So getting them to improve in their position and be able to adjust for the next opponent is something that's we want to work on.
Key for them to get victory number 2.
McDonald does a great job with running the football and getting.
And that's been a staple with him.
Yeah.
They're like that 3 yards.
They can,
3 yards.
Yeah.
3 and then hit it 20, but then
it.
3 yards, hit it 20. That can wear on.
Yeah. And you know what? They got a big quarterback. They got a big size line. So being able to stop that run, and they spread it out to run. They shrink it in to run. So they do a really good job offensively. Being able to stop that run and hold them into a couple 3-and-outs, I think that would help us a lot.
So offense becomes a big key for you to keep their offense off the field.
Oh, yeah. If we can hold the ball for a quarter, I will.
You'll hold it for a quarter. You run that play clock down a little bit.
Yeah.
Coach Williams, you better not be listening and watching this. But
it's all right.
That's the thing. I've noticed college football just started up. The rule changes on the clock. Games go faster because there's still going to be commercials. But I've noticed high school football, that 12 minutes is so compacted. Like you said,
yeah,
you go against a team that hits you for a 6-minute drive. You could be getting the ball the first time with 3 minutes left in the first quarter.
Yeah, I mean, look at LeBray this past week against Valley. I think they held it for the whole first quarter.
The whole one,
I think the whole first quarter. They were.
So as a how do you respond to you're on headsets? Will we ever get the ball here? Will we? But that's obviously a goal.
Yeah.
Like the longer you can hold the football and not make mistakes, you're in control.
Yeah, and I think when you're smaller
schools, it's even bigger.
Better. Yeah, it's even better. But there's something to be said about having that strength and just going down the field 3, 10, 3, 3, 5, 3, 3. It's awesome.
But you're going to get there with that. Again, I love the group. Coach, your biggest key to beating McDonald to go 2-1?
Biggest key to beating McDonald 2-1 is being able to stop the run out of any formation they give us. And, we gotta be able to toss the rock around a little bit.
Well, let's toss it around a little bit. There you have it, Red Devil Nation. Coach King, every Wednesday night from Tavern 26. Cannot thank him enough. Got him in early because him and his staff has, I'm sure, plenty to do on a Wednesday night. Coach, thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
Always a pleasure, my man.
Appreciate it.
Absolutely.